think that should kick it in right there. How about now? Check, check. I always joke around. I always jinx myself. It's like every time, no matter what we do on the internet, on the IT side, man, something always happens. All right, man, cool. Thank you, Danny, for keeping an eye out, as always. So let's talk about raising private capital for all your real estate deals here on YouTube once again. So for those that didn't hear, my name is Mike Del Pre, Executive Director of the Arizona Real Estate Investors Association, where we provide networking opportunities, education, resources, and support in government affairs for all real estate investors throughout the state of Arizona. We've been doing this for 22 years now. So let's jump into it. So why should you raise money for your real estate deals? So let's talk about it. All right, Daniel, actually, you know what? I don't even know where the chat is on here, because I'm looking at it on my computer right now, so I want to get it on OBS. So why should you raise money for your deals? Let's talk about it. Speed, right? So you have a deal. So we're talking about live off-market deals. We have real estate investing deals that come off-market from wholesalers, bird dogs. You're looking out there to get the deals yourself. You're direct marketing to homeowners, direct mail, cold calling, door knocking, whatever it may be. And when you get these discounted deals, people need to get out of town. So they're looking to get out of their situation fast. That's why they're willing to take your discounted offer or creative offer, because they need to move on with their life. It's such a headache where the quality of life is more important than the price of the house. So you need to be able to move fast if you want to flip that thing or buy it as a rental. Yes, it's most likely going to be in some type of distress, but you got to move fast. So you need speed and flexibility. And if you're funded with all cash, you can get the deal. You could take advantage of that deal. Or so one, I personally recommend raising private money. So what's raising private money? Raising private money is, when I say private, I'm not meaning like just a corporation. I'm talking mom and pop, person to person, owner to owner. We are looking for people that have cash sitting in the bank. We're looking for people that have IRAs sitting with cash doing, they're not working the money, right? So 401ks, Keo accounts, what is it that people have where money's just sitting there and it's not being worked? So that's raising private capital to me. I go one-on-one. I'm not talking about PPMs. I'm not talking about funds. I'm talking about just, hey, first lien. I'm not going to really go down the joint venture route, but we'll just talk about, hey, someone pulls cash out of their bank account. They lend on your deal. They give you what you need to do the deal. They get first lien position on the property. They're the bank on the deal. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're going to talk about today. We could talk about the joint ventures if the questions come in, but I'm just going to keep it simple. So speed and flexibility. As real estate investors and operators, we're providing a service, right? So even people with money have problems, right? So we are serving these people that have cash just sitting there. So if inflation is up, at the bare minimum, these people need their money to be worked with an operator like yourself, so that their buying power doesn't keep decreasing. So we're providing a solution to people with money. So what are some ways? So speed. So when you have that access to that off-market deal, you're allowed to capture that deal and take advantage of it. If you don't have all the money, you could raise the money for the down payment for your hard money loan. You could raise the money for the renovations. Me, traditionally, 95% of all my rental properties have been through raising private money, through relationships and networking. With that being said, you can do a lot outside of speed. There's flexibility and there's customized customized terms, right? So when you're dealing with private people, they're not coming at you like a hard money loan, hard money lender or a banker, right? They're not checking your credit. They're not checking your W-2s. They're not checking your bank statements. They can, depends who you're dealing with, but traditionally I'm getting 100% of acquisitions. I'm getting all the renovations for these properties. And then they could be long-term plays or they could be short-term plays. It just really depends on what your goal is with that investor that you're working with and on the property specifically. So speed is number one. You get to take advantage of the deals coming into your pipeline by having access to this money. Docs, chat. All right, got it. And then you get financing terms. Your terms are flexible, so you can create your own terms. So there's not a standard that you need to follow. You can make the offer that you want to make on these deals, and if the lender does not want to participate, you do not have to accept the money. So that's what's great about this deals. But you always want it to be win-win. You want your real estate project, your business, to solve the problems and needs of the lender, and vice versa. It needs to go both ways, so you both benefit. Next, we'll jump into what do we have here? Larger capital. So how do you get more capital? So first thing I noticed, the word spreads quickly. So when you help somebody and you make your payments on time, you return somebody's money, what happens is they start telling their friends and family. Their friends and family are, everyone loves real estate. Everyone wants to be in real estate. It's a sexy subject. But not everyone can do it. So when you have someone that lends you money and you're working the capital and you're giving them their payments, or you give them their money back, they're excited, they're happy. When they're out and about at work, talking at family events, whatever it is, they're telling people what they're doing in real estate and how they got this project going, how they know you, and then other people. Obviously, if that person has money, they most likely hang around with people that also have money. So those people want to get in on the deal. So they start introducing you to their friends. So now your capital is growing through these relationships, right? So I'm not here talking about, we're not marketing, we're not running ads, we're not sending out letters, we're just handshaking. We're going to these ASREA meetings, we're meeting the people, we're shaking hands and just building good relationships. So is this working for you? Daniel, if you're on there, let me know it's working. So if you're on IG, if you have any questions, just drop the questions in. I'm just talking about why you should raise private money for your real estate deals, how you can raise money for your real estate deals. If you're interested or involved in real estate investing, my name is Mike Del Pree, Executive Director of the Arizona Real Estate Investors Association. So where were we at? So we were talking about you get access to larger capital. So basically the word spreads. And sometimes I just breeze through this because it might sound, I don't want to, how do I say this? Like, it's easy. It's work and it takes time, but it's easy, right? So there's not like some big class I need to give. I could teach a class on this, but it's really simple if you just put in the effort. So we said, why you should have money. Private money with lenders in first lien position, speed, flexible terms, and the money grows once the word gets out. And another thing I want to say about the money and the referrals is never discount anybody. My mentor, Jay Massey, always told me, for every dud, there's a stud. And I learned that when I used to host a cash flow 101 board game. And I specifically did that to be an expert in my field and attract people that wanted to learn real estate investing. And I was the expert. I was in the business. I had flips, I had rentals, I had wholesale deals. And when you're going through the small deals and the big deals in the cash flow 101 board game, people are like, I ask people, do you like these type of scenarios? Would you buy houses in these scenarios? And they'd be excited. Oh, my phone's over here. They would love it. And I'd pull out my phone and say, that's my phone. That's my daily life, is these foreclosures, probate, inheritance, divorce, death, drugs, all these type of things are the marketing I put out there in my wholesale business. I get these type of deals coming to my phone every day. And if you'd like to participate in these and learn how to do that, you can work with me on some of these deals. And then I would walk them through a funnel, a process, and get to know them until I'm able to see if they would like to be a part of a transaction. So what happened was there was a gentleman that used to come for a year and a half. Every weekend for a year and a half, this guy would come. And he would play. And I'm going to get started. I can do it. I want to do it. I got to talk to my spouse. We're going to get it going. Alfonso, yeah, buddy, Paradise. See what I mean? The proof's right there. I really did it. How you been, man? Nice seeing you. Paradise Bakery, that's right. Then it turned to Panera. Then they closed. Yeah, man, amazing. Yeah, man. So now I'm here at Azria. See how it all builds? Takes time, persistence, consistency. Keep growing, and it all works out. So this gentleman was just like, I want to do it. I got to talk to my spouse. I'm going to. Then he's like, I'm ready to go. And then I'm like, I got a deal. Then he backs out. He gets cold feet. And then, so whatever it was, he introduced me to his boss. And his boss was ready to go. Simple as that. His boss loved this guy. The relationship they had were buddy-buddy. So he told his boss about me, how he needs to come to the cash flow game. He never even came to the cash flow game. But this gentleman introduced me to his boss. We had dinner. We all hit it off. And he lent money on my deal. So for every dud, there's a stud, right? So never discount anybody that you meet out in the networking field. Don't judge anybody. Just take it. Build every relationship you possibly can, right? So there you go. So as you do good business, make your payments, pay people back, do what you say you're going to do, more money follows. And it's not some huge marketing budget that you got to go put out there to get the money. So continue building those relationships. You may have heard a lot of the common phrases. Your network is your net worth, right? The more hands you shake, the more money you make. All this is real. And like I said, 95% of my rentals were purchased with raising private money. I would say maybe like 40%, 45% of my self-generated deals in the wholesale business every year are from my cell phone, are from going into these rooms of investors, experience to new, and building relationships and always keeping in touch with people, always texting people, always meeting up with people, always seeing if I can provide some type of resource to people where you're top of mind, out of sight, out of mind. If you're in front of everybody and you let them know you are a cash buyer or you're always looking for money for your next deal because you're a deal maker and you got deals coming in all the time, they will be thinking of you. They will refer you. They will want to know what you're doing. They will contact you back. You can do this with your phone. So keep building those relationships. I always call it my top 10. Just like any sales process in any business, whether you're wholesaling or you're selling services, whatever it is, you got to market yourself. You got to put outflow. The more outflow you put, the more inflow comes in. And then when that inflow comes in, you got to pre-qualify. You got to take applications. You got to see where people are at. You put them into your CRM, and then you follow up with them, right? Same thing for raising money. So I would always try to have my list. I would call it my top 10 list. How can I have my top 10 list filled with 10 people at all times that want to potentially lend on a deal? And in the way I position myself and the phrases and the commitments I ask for on that top 10 list, I say, hey, when I call you and you want to be a part of a long-term buy and hold for 3 to 5 years, you want single family, you have X amount of money, you have it in your IRA, you have it ready to go. And when I pick up the phone and I call you and I say, I got it, I'm expecting you to wire the money, right? Does it always happen like that perfectly? No. But you're setting that tone. You're setting that expectation as to what needs to happen. So can you keep people? Can you go out and network and have these sit downs and build these relationships and build a top 10 list? So when those deals come, you have somebody to call. So that's my goal, right? That's kind of something I always work on. So going into the next number 5, let me just hop on YouTube here. Good. All right, if you have questions, drop them in. Once again, Mike Del Pree. This is AZREIA, the Arizona Real Estate Investors Association. If you like what I'm sharing with you and how to raise money for your deals, if you're on Instagram, give us a like, a follow, whatever it may be. Definitely trying to get up here on YouTube and grow this thing. All right, so jump over to YouTube on Instagram if you're there. So head over to azreia.org to learn more about us. If you like to come to an event and you're in Phoenix, you can go to esria.org/calendar. And we have 15 events a month. So whether it's fix and flip, landlording, women's group, cash flow 101 board game, notes, raising money. What else we got? Man, we got so many. There's something for everybody. There's so many ways to make money in real estate. So we have an event for you. So esria.org/calendar. Browse around the site. We got forums. We got blogs. We got news articles. We have wealth is a team sport, especially real estate investing. It's a team sport. So you can go to our business associate page. They're vetted business associates. These are service providers that provide service to real estate investors, such as lawyers, attorneys, same thing, right? Property managers, agents, air conditioner, pest control, property management, everything you need to operate your real estate investing business. We have vetted professionals that you can trust and count on to provide you a great service for your real estate business. So check them out. So it's all on our website, esria.org. So number 5 for why, and to use private money when it comes to investing in real estate is more along the lines of, I would say less, it's less red tape in a way, right? Like, so there's rules and guidelines and laws you need to follow, right? If you're borrowing money, there's rules to how to do that. So look up securities, go to the government website, look it up, call an attorney, whatever it is, if you want to know everything and how it goes. That's what I recommend. However, so you can't do things like guarantee people interest rates and things along those lines. You can't just publicly advertise, hey, I'll guarantee you X amount. Let me borrow X and I'll get you X, right? Even though you might be able to do it, but you can't guarantee it. So there's just guidelines you need to follow in regards to security. So always double check with a professional. So, but what I like around it is, like I said, you control the situation. You're not dealing with someone that's just like a lender and they got standard terms that they gotta follow from the bank or whatever it is. You go to like Wells Fargo. Well, actually, I don't even think Wells Fargo does mortgages anymore. It's a Chase, whatever it may be. Those bigger banks, right? They're going W-2s, bank statements, credit score, job history, blood sample, whatever it is, they're going through a fine-tooth comb, and you'll probably get a good deal, but the likelihood of you getting that deal might be a little bit less or harder to do, and it takes a lot of time. Still leverage it. I'm not against leveraging the bank, but it's just a little bit harder, right? Then you can go down to the community banks and credit unions. Still the same thing. They're going to go through everything just like a normal bank would be, maybe a little bit more lenient. And then you have like hard money lenders who are super aggressive. They're not going to lend you all the money you need. They're going to want a down payment. You're going to have to do most likely your renovation funds. Just depends on the lender. All these are just like, those are like 3 different levels of lenders, and there's a million of each, and there's a million different types of loan products that each of them offer. So you just have to do your research. However, like I said, when it comes to the private mom and pop, person to person situation, you're not borrowing their last dollar, right? You're not taking every penny they have to put in a deal, right? You're going to be smart about it. But what you're going to do is, like I said, it's a win-win for both. How can you serve this person and meet their needs, but with your project and get the right terms for your deal. So that's what I like. So that's why I like private money: speed, flexibility, less red tape. And when you borrow money and you do well, more money comes back. So let's see. Any questions out there? So if you're on IG, I know there's a few people on there. If you got some questions, feel free to drop them in about raising money, how and why you should do it for your real estate deals. Also on YouTube, if you got any questions, drop them in. And we will keep going to how to do it, right? How do you raise money? Kind of went over, kind of touched on it a little bit. So the first part, I guarantee a lot of you are thinking is, I don't have a deal. I don't have money myself. Why would someone else give me money, right? All these limiting beliefs. You got to get over that, right? I think the more confident, like if you can put your team together, right? You get the real estate attorney, the property manager, the contractor, the insurance agent, whatever it may be. You build your team. This is your confidence. These people are the pros. Have been in the business for years. They're going to cover all these areas of your deal. Become good at comping properties and running the team and evaluating properties, finding good deals. If you always buy the deal right, you're gonna save your ass. If you could buy the deal right, well, not if, only buy the deal right, and the numbers make sense and they pencil out and you got margins for error, you'll be fine, right? So comp properties, comp 100 properties, go on Zillow, comp every single property, get with an agent, have them double check your ARV, your after repair values, right? Just go all in and just comp and get good at it. Get with a contractor, walk through properties, go through properties with fix and flippers, understand how to estimate repairs, right? What could possibly happen when you open up that wall? How much does it cost to replace a roof, an air conditioner, flooring? Just get good at the expenses, right, of renovations, expense ratios of running a property, right? How much does it cost to maintain a rental property, right? Property management, maintenance, any type of fees, HOAs, leases. Just understand those basic fundamentals and buy a good deal. Build your confidence with that knowledge, right? Partner up with someone, shadow someone, mentor someone, get a coach, whatever it is. Just beat the learning curve. Don't kick the can down the road and try to save a buck, not getting a coach or someone to help you out or a relationship in your market. So build your confidence and have the right attitude, right? My first $50,000 that I raised, I didn't do anything. And then here's how I got the money, right? And we all have a sphere of influence around us at some level. So I used to own a hair salon. My wife was an owner operator. We call it behind the chair. So she would be behind the chair cutting hair. And as you know, the joke is hairstylists are like therapists. They get to know their clients very well. They open up. They sit there for 2 hours chatting, and they listen. So this person that she was cutting their hair, it was for years. They known each other well, and their family was big in stocks. Her husband was an executive at a company in Irvine, California, and they're like, hey, the stocks aren't doing well. We're looking to getting some money out and move it around. And we've been thinking about real estate. And she was like, I know you and your husband dabble around in rentals and flips and things along those lines. So they started having conversations. And just so happened, I had a deal I had just locked up in South Phoenix at like 40 cents on the dollar. It's a whole nother story in itself. And she was like, I was like, hey, we could buy this and keep it as a rental. It's already renovated. It's in good shape. It has a tenant. And we just need the cash, right? And closing costs. We need the acquisition, maybe minor repairs, right? At closing costs and some reserves, right? So if something goes wrong, it's not even coming out of our pocket. We already raised the money. So what happened was she was like, oh, why don't you have Mike come over to the house, tell my husband about the deal. And in my head, I'm like, man, I need a presentation. I got to buy a suit. I always wear a hat, right? It's like, should I wear my hat? I'm just overthinking everything. And I didn't do any of it. I was like, hey, I know the numbers. I know the deal. I know it's a good deal. If he wants the comps, I'll email him over to whatever it is. I went up there, never met him in my life, never even met her client in my life. And just went to the house, met both of them. And they're like, so what you got? What's going on? You had this small talk. How you doing? Who are you? Kind of thing. And then we started talking about deals. So, Mike, how much money you need? Right? The deal at the time, it was years ago, it was a $35,000 deal. So I figured with closing cost, reserves, and the house was already remodeled. It was great condition, but it was a lower income house. So I was like, I'll take a few grand and I'll also pay myself. That's why you should invest. That's another. I forgot number 6. Let's throw that on there. You pay yourself. You could pay your wholesale company. You could pay your marketing department a finder's fee, a profit for finding these deals for you and your investor. So you can raise the money, 100%. You could raise 100% of the money, acquisition, renovation, reserves, and put money in your pocket to pay yourself for finding these deals and keep your marketing machine running. Another good reason why you should raise money. So at the end of the day, told him about the deal. He goes like this. He goes, I make, was it 7% on the stock market? He just wanted his money to be safer. If you can get me 7%, I'll lend you the money. And I said, okay. That was it. I said, okay, I could do it. Like you pencil out the numbers. What's my payment? It's a hard money loan kind of thing. It's that style where it's like $50K times 7%, right? Divide that, but that's your annual divided by 12. That's your monthly payment, right? So it worked. The numbers worked. The cash flowed. I just had everything in my head. I didn't bring a presentation. I didn't bring a computer. I didn't bring a PowerPoint. The main point I want to get across here is it was the sphere of influence. Where are the influencers in your life? Not YouTube, not Instagram. Well, that does work too. But I'm saying, like, do you know a community leader? Do you know someone that's the treasury of the Rotary Club, right? Do you know someone, a coach, or a president of an organization, someone that has influence over a group of people that you can work with? Right, and they can be confident to refer you because you do such good things for the community and for your real estate business. So those people will get you money. So I was able to get my first $50,000 by my wife just going, "Hey, talk to my husband," right? So I didn't need to sell. You don't convince anybody. You don't convince people, right? There is no convincing. The man convinced against his will is in of the same opinion still. It's like a tongue twister for me, so it's always a little hard. So there's no sales, there's no convincing. If your deal and the numbers it can bring and perform do not make sense for that investor, you just don't take their money, right? The deal sells itself. You sell yourself. Your character and your competence of this business gets you the money. Okay. So get the right mindset. You can do this. You're fully capable of doing this. Put in the work. Get the experience. Practice. Get around the right people, and tell yourself you can do this. Talk to friends and families how you're going to start there. Be shameless. Everyone I know knows I pay cash for houses, right? For at least when I'm generating leads coming into my life. Same thing for raising money. Hey, I'm always looking for money on a project. I'm always if people, obviously, like, when I'm building relationships, I listen more than I talk. However, when it's my turn to talk or I get asked a question, I got this smoking real estate deal. It's over on this crossroad. It's this type of house. I just got to buy it for this, put this much into it, and I'm going to make X a month, or I'm going to make X amount of profit on the flip or the Airbnb, whatever it is. And people are like, oh, how do you do that? You know what I mean? Think about it. If someone has money and they want to invest in stocks, they want to buy the Apple stock. I have no idea what it is, a couple $100 or whatever per share. If you want 100 shares, you got to have all 100% of the money up front to buy those shares. I'm going down the wrong angle for that that thought. But, that's what's great about leverage in real estate. You don't need all the money. So what I'm getting at, the friends and family find it sexy. They know a good deal when they see it. If they trust you and you tell them it's a good deal, they will be interested. And it starts with the friends and family and the sphere of influence of people in your community, which are your friends, right? So let them know what you do. Tell them about your deals, and it'll work out. So any questions on IG? I know I'm kind of like glancing over everywhere. So we talked about friends and family. We got get the right mindset, and we're going to jump into don't wait for an active deal. And what I mean by that is not waiting for an active deal. When you're always telling people what you have, that's the main thing. Or giving people like a case study. So you might be like, hey, I don't have any deals right now. Well, did you have a deal? Is there a past deal that you had? So I would go around and take a case study of a deal you already did, and or if you partnered with someone, you shadowed someone, or you just know the type of product you're looking for. You're like, hey, I want to be a landlord. I want to be in North Phoenix, and I want this type of house. Get a scenario together. Say, hey, when a deal does come along, it's going to look like this. So you're already setting the tone in people's minds as to what kind of deal is going to be hitting their desk, right? So you're going to tell them exactly what you're looking for. You're going to tell them exactly about the deals that you had. If you've done some deals in the past, one thing, was a great point we brought up at the Esria monthly meeting last month. We actually did an expert panel with some heavy hitters from here in Phoenix. They're giving some of their advice and expertise on raising money. And one of the things was show your work. That was one of the top things. Zach Heaps, Angela Barron, John Burley, Mick McGurr from Focus Law. They said show your work, even if they're wholesale deals, right? Even their flips, landlord deals. Save your HUDs. Take pictures of the house before and after. Keep all this stuff. And then just what I'm getting at the end of the day is paint the picture. If you don't have a deal yet, don't worry about it, but tell people what kind of deal they can expect from you. Because that's what you're focusing. You have an investor identity. You're looking for certain products. So keep that in mind and let everyone know that you're looking for money. You're telling your friends and family, and you're already letting them know what kind of deal will be coming down the pipeline. And since you know that neighborhood well enough and you know the numbers that you should be buying right at, it's easier to give them some estimated predictions as to what the property can perform on. So, and you could share that information. What else? So, yeah, those are some ways how to do it. And I always say educate. Another way how to do it is educate to dominate. Simple as that. It's exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm sitting here talking about how I raised money, how I raised millions of dollars to fund 95% of my deals, right? Through other people's money, other people's knowledge, other people's resources, other people's everything. So that's how you do it. Where was I going with that? So other people, yeah, any questions? Yeah, educate to dominate. Just write articles. It's another thing I do. If you don't, you're scared to talk to people. Once this business ain't for you, if that's the case. But I go down to if you're here in Phoenix at the Veterans Memorial in February every year. There's a million books at a used bookstore, or they bring a million books to veterans for a used book sale. I take the shopping cart, I go in there, and I load up my cart with every Robert Kiyosaki, Dean Graziosi, any real estate guru, any famous book about real estate. I load it up. I walk out of there with 50, 100 books, all at $1 each, and then I give them out all year. Especially the Robert Kiyosaki book. I don't push his education or encourage to buy that, but what I do is his philosophy is real. The Cash Flow 101 board game, read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That will change your life. I hand those books out every day or play the game every month. So if you want to impact and give people aha moments, send them over an article, give them a book. And if they read it and they're really into it and they go, oh, wow, I didn't know you could do that. You can buy a house from the bank. You can lend money to somebody and get a return, or own half the house and not really have to do much, or whatever it may be. You can pay less taxes by owning real estate, right? Who gave them that aha moment? You did. They're going to think about you. You're their trusted advisor. You're their expert. So when they have a real estate question, or they're at work and a friend or a coworker is like, hey, I got this issue, they're going to say, hey, call my friend Mike. Just by posting on Instagram, I didn't get the deal. It didn't end up, I tried to help them. So I gave them, they didn't call back. So I'm assuming they used the resources. So I post on Instagram. Someone reached out and says, hey, I follow you, whatever. I watch your stuff. And my best friend's mom is going through foreclosure. So think the lineage there. Me, follower, follower's best friend, mom, right? And they said, hey, can you talk to my best friend? Talk to the best friend. I didn't ever talk to the mom, but like, hey, do 1, 2, 3. Do that, and you could probably stall the process or get you some time to get your stuff in order and maybe pull some resources to save the house. We don't want anyone to lose their house, but if they exhaust all resources and they can't, I want to be that option to buy it. But think about that. Just by talking like this on the internet for free, on my phone for free, someone leaned in, right? So you can do that with raising money. You can do that for getting deals, partnerships, anything you're doing in life. So educate to dominate. So books, give out articles, share resources, share Instagram pages, do whatever you can to help other people get better in their life with real estate information. And this way here, you will be their expert at some level. Invite them to Azria, right? Invite them to a meeting. Go to someone else's meeting. I don't care. Go to someone's real estate investing meeting and bring them there. Right now, as we speak here in our Azria office, we're doing a tax planning session. Bring them to the tax planning session, right? There's 20 people in there talking about taxes. So bring them there. If they get some aha moments, who's that person that gave them that? Oh, did we freeze up on here? Sometimes we just, so what I was saying on Instagram, so I'm going to repeat it, is bring your friends to, bring people to events. Anyone's real estate event. I don't care who it is, preferably here, Azria.org/calendar, but bring them to an event. That's another thing. They're going to meet some cool people. Even if you don't know that much, they're going to hear information from the people in the room, the experts in the room. Ignatius Jackson, our preferred accountant, is dropping so much information right now for only $50. Like, you're going to be able to go back to your accountant and in school and have a great conversation. So, if you brought a friend to that, they're gonna be amazed, and you're gonna be their expert, and they're gonna want to refer to you or do a deal with you in some way. So that's what I got. This is my first launch on not Instagram Live, but YouTube. So getting used to this. So Mike Del Pree, Executive Director, Azria, Arizona Real Estate Investors Association. Subscribe to our YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. If you guys got questions right now, I'm here to hang out. I got an hour before I got to go back in the room. So if there's questions on anything real estate investing, any way I could be of service, of help out, whatever it may be, drop your question. If not, I'll just wrap it up and I'll just come back another day. All right. Well, we'll leave it at that. Signing off, Mike Del Pree, Azria.org. Check us out. Love to see you at a meeting. If you come to a meeting, shake my hand, say hello. I would appreciate it. And I'll be back on here soon. Take it easy.